All right, you're about to get all the best settings for NBA 2K24. We running it down. There's a lot to get into. All you need to do is go into your settings. It doesn't matter if it's in the main menu or in this game mode or other game modes. They usually have it. Once you get to controller settings, this is the main area. We're gonna go down to the bottom first because it's the most complicated, and then we'll go with the easy stuff that will help you get better. This is for shooting. This is for defense. This is for passing. On literally every player needs to know all of the information I'm about to give you. It's going to help you be better overall. Okay, with that in mind, these two are basically auto assist and they ruin your game. Okay, a lot of people don't know this, but they complain about defense. This game has this on 50 and it has box out on 50 as well when you start the game. And you come here, you want to lower it to 0. Reason for you want to lower this is because defensive assist is basically auto defense that puts you on somebody. And that sounds great and all, but actually a good player knows how to break your ankles, get open, push you off, blow by you and all of that. So having full control of your player on defense is the only way you're going to succeed, and you have to have it on 0 to do so. If you're not that great of a player, maybe 10 or 15 at most to give you a little bit of an assist. But I promise you, keep lowering it down as you get better at defense all the way until you get to 0. Same thing with box out. This is for, let's say I'm a big man and I'm going for a box out, but it's going to auto assist the box out and maybe put me on a point guard instead of the center that I was running towards to box out. And with that, it's going to hurt you. So you want to lower it as much as possible. Of course, if you're not so great, start putting it up a little bit, but I promise you any good player will take advantage of you if you have the assist on. Okay, with that out of the way, there is this thing called pass target. This is another handicap for players. A lot of players will turn this up and put it up as high as possible or pretty high, and I never recommend that. It's not good. Default is pretty decent. It only makes it so that it's a 6% openness, and what that means is if I go to pass it, it's not gonna pass it to whoever's just open. It's gonna pass it to who I'm directing the pass to, and that's where pass target direction. And this we'll get deeper into this in another video where I will tweak it to the perfect place for NBA 2K24. Usually it's in the 60s, to be honest, but for now the default settings have been working very fine for me. And you want to keep it here until you get better and then turn this up as you go. You'll start feeling the difference where you have full control of your passes. All right, with those main things out of the way, we're going to get into some of the fun stuff, and we'll go down a rabbit hole going upwards. So just follow along, maybe pause a little, rewind, and get into it. And by the way, I do have a lot of tutorials, so make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to try to get the algorithm out there and get me in more people's eyes so we can continue to build this channel and grow the community. I appreciate y'all out there. With that said, who to guard. This is a visual cue. It has nothing to do with the actual game. It doesn't change the game when you turn it on or off. But if you have it off, it's going to help you switch to the player. And there's easy ways to switch. There's 2 ways to switch, actually. Holding the bumper and then pressing the button to who it is. So pretty much like an icon pass, but on defense. You're going to switch over to that player, and you're going to be able to guard them. You're going to face them. So this is when you want to switch or something, you use this mechanic all the time. Leave this on because it's shading. It's very helpful on defense. And then we go from there. Some of these pro stick defense, you want it on absolute. It just basically means when you go up, it's up, left, left, right, right. So it's a really good thing to keep it as is. Okay. There's a bunch of pass receiver information, full receiver control, where you can lead the pass inbound, outbound, and things like that. If you're not a hardcore player offline or things like that, you don't really need to do this as much, but it is something that you can master, and we'll probably do another video if people want to go down that rabbit hole and test it out a little further. Okay, and with that out the way, now we're getting into the juice, where some of this stuff is all preference for you, the player. Then there comes this right here. You want pro stick function on default. It basically just means you're going to be able to dribble and shoot with the right stick. And if you're really good, you'll be able to dribble well, but you can use the right stick to do a step back, to do a side step, and to do a lot of very fancy things with the ball, whether it's layups and dunks and things of that nature. It just makes life easier for you as a player. You want to have that. And again, absolute for the ball. This just means when you're moving left, it'll go left or right. You don't have to worry about where you are on the floor, right? So those are just some things. There's a lot of new icons in here, and these are preference, okay? Some people will tell you, put your icon, your meter under your player, or put it in on top of him or above him, and that is all preference. I don't care what any so-called top YouTuber would tell you, even myself. It's a lie if I tell you put it on the bottom of your feet and you're gonna shoot better. It's a matter of what you get used to, what you like, what keeps you engaged in the game, okay? So just figure that out on your own. I couldn't tell you exactly where to go with that one, okay? Now, size and things like that, I would want it small and you can focus. You shouldn't have the shot meter on at all, to be honest. Just gonna be real. And we're gonna get into the meter and all that stuff. You can see shot meter is off. All right, we don't care about that. Why? Because you get a 20% boost. You want to keep it as, efficient as possible out there with shots. I do keep my layups on because they're harder to time than jump shots. And then my free throws, I keep them off to get that boost also. It's pretty easy doing free throws and jumpers. The layups, I don't mind you guys leaving this on, but we'll talk more about layups in a second because there is another setting for you guys. Okay, this is the big one. This is a confusing one for people, and this is probably why you came here. All right, this right here, shot timing visual cue. Last year we had a different setting, and it used to be very early, late, and very late. This year, it's changed. All right, so we're gonna get into it right now. Jump is very early. That means you're gonna release it right as you jump. Okay. And then set point means when you're setting your feet and you're ready to release, it'll go. And that's early. Then there's push, which is late. And so you're going to be able to release the shot a little late. And then last but not least, the final one is very late for the release. And what I want to try to note and help you guys understand, this doesn't affect the speed of your shot. This just affects the visual cue. So for example, if I put it on very late, I can still shoot very fast. I won't get contested more because I did that. And I'm going to be allowed to release it right as the ball releases my hand. That's the format for this. But if I switch it over to jump, that is the very early, I'm going to be able to just tap the button and it's going to release. So you are the only human being who can say what is best. Okay. The default is push. That is what the game comes with. And that's late. But you can switch it over to be faster or slower depending on the visual cue of your jumper. It is honestly all about your jumper. If your jumper's very long or just a weird jumper, depending on how you want to release it, you can change this and test it to your liking. Do not believe any lies that anybody tells you have to have it one way or the other. It's not true. And then as far as shot timing, this is what I was talking about. Shot timing, it has to be player based. You don't want to put shots only. You don't want to put layups only. You don't want to put real player percentage. Shots and layups is the only one you want to put on. And this is a skill thing, right? If you want to be good at the game and you want to succeed and not, fool yourself or lie to yourself, having shots and layups on will make you a better player as long as you start practicing and get a rhythm of it. Right. With that said, these are preference as far as vibration and trigger. Personally, I leave vibration on. I turn trigger off because it's a lot on the PlayStation 5. If you're on Xbox, you don't have that extra vibration. You don't have to worry about it. Okay. That's the main settings. Of course, play on Hall of Fame. That has nothing to do with nothing. But the reason I play on Hall of Fame is because online modes are also Hall of Fame. So you want to have that. I like to have shot feedback on for everything, so all shots feedback. Camera shake, you can turn that off if you want. Gameplay indicator, perfectly fine. And all of these are just casual, depending on what you feel. They're not going to affect your gameplay too much, mostly, okay? But motion blur, most people turn this off on every game. They don't like it. and that's fine. Go right ahead. Feel free. And the rest is all preference on this menu right here. But these are the core settings that you need for your playstyle, depending on what you're trying to do here. All right. So hope that helped. Hope it was useful. Definitely loving this game. The dribble's crazy. We got some dribble breakdowns that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to save them for a day so I can lab up and make sure that I get good. I'm doing this before the game releases, so appreciate you guys for watching. I hope y'all enjoy the game. Leave a comment on if the settings helped, or if you have any questions, feel free to drop them. Go ahead and watch these build videos and more that I have up on the screen right now. All right, I'll see y'all on the court. Peace.